NERDSoul.
Lay ill kid at OneYoungsta holding you down, bring that street geek and nerd soul, man. We got a dope joint for you today. So like, comment, hit the bell, subscribe, because we all the way live with the cinematic sorcerer I give to you. That's right, Solar Gray. What's up?
Hey everybody, what is going on? This is Solar Gray, the cinematic sorcerer, coming at you from the Wizard's Tower.
Man,
And
so
wow.
we good now. So all right, we have part two of course, Tolerance is Extinction. What's your initial thoughts? How you feeling?
So I know we're at the all is lost part, that tragic act 2 that we always talk about.
Yes.
But bruh, you're already pulling from 3 graphic novels for this. Like, scale it back a bit.
They're covering a lot of X-Men territory. To a certain degree, I'm like, man, slow down.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, save something for season 2.
Like, the way they write this is like, they'll never give us another chance.
It very much has that that final season risk taking that we talk about with a lot of other shows, specifically you and I.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, we're not getting a second season, so let's see. What's my trade paperback collection? All right, throw it in there. Which one? Yeah, just throw it in there.
All of it.
Throw it in.
Because they're moving fast. Now the cool thing is, since they're moving fast in this, they have laid the groundwork to always go back and flesh things out, because they've only given us like the seedlings of those stories.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's a good thing. But yeah, they are moving fast. And this is Act 2, which is, you know what? I'll say one negative thing. One negative thing in my initial thoughts of this episode, when the episode ended, this is something that I worried about, but I didn't say because I didn't want it to come true, just in case.
You didn't want to speak it into existence, huh?
Yes, because when you have a 3-part finale, there is undoubtedly going to be a part that ends up feeling either unfinished or unfulfilled because you're breaking it up. I still wish they would have aired this as a finale movie to the show. Now, I know people be like, they can't do that. No, this has been done on cable television in the past and stuff too.
Oh yeah.
They've done, so this can be done. There's been 2-hour-long episodes of like, XYZ show or whatever as their finale. So it can be done. It has been done. And this is what they should have done, because this episode, I was just like, oh, there's no, I gotta wait another week, don't I?
Yeah. You know what? I'm not disagreeing with you. I realize they're giving us this whole week by week drip feed thing. But yeah, give me those last 3 episodes. Let's binge it.
Yeah, especially if it's a 3-part thing.
Yeah, I'm like, I paid my dues with all good things in Star Trek. I waited 3 weeks for that. I'm like, can we just finish this up, please? Because you already got me for season 2. We're already gonna show.
We're here. We're here. We're talking about it. I'm pretty sure people are buying the T-shirts or the hats or the toys or something. Like, we're here. We're supporting it.
And that gives all the people who have been like, oh, they're doing that week thing. You know what? I'm just gonna wait until they finish. You know what? They finished. Now come watch it so we can talk around you, man.
But yeah, so I did like it, but there was this feeling like, oh man, like y'all couldn't really give me the final blow because we gotta wait again. So you couldn't throw that last hard punch on me.
Of course, as a writer, I'm gonna say a good problem to have is when your audience is going, no man, I want it more. Just give me more.
So yes, I'm upset because it's good. I'm not upset because it's bad.
All right.
But I guess the main thing, because since he's back, let's talk about Professor X for a second. Ooh. You know what? Let's talk about Professor X for a long second because
Ooh.
Professor X upsets me for one huge so okay, he comes back, all right? So he gets this mental like a I guess message or whatever that what went on in Genosha. He can see the pain, he can feel the pain, the psychic screams or whatever, right? So he comes back.
Like billions of voices
Yes,
cried
crying
out.
out.
And were suddenly silenced. Yes.
So and when he gets back, people are mad, people are disgruntled, they're down, depressed, whatever. And of course, Professor X comes in talking his let's be cool talk. And I get it, but like Rogue was saying, you won't hear. And then he goes back and forth with Magneto, and Magneto like, ho, I thought this was my X-Men, Remember you went up there out space with your bird queen. Now all of a sudden, oh, you want your toy back. No, it don't work like that. You sold your used car to me. Don't be mad because I put rims on it. Now you want it back. No, it's mine now. So the thing that upset me about Professor X is he's going back and forth with Senator Kelly. Or sorry, not Senator, no, President Kelly. So Kelly is like, he's a lunatic, he's crazy or whatever. And the thing that made me mad is that Professor X responds and said he's not a lunatic. He's merely a man trying to survive in a world that has proven his worst fears true time and time again. Why, sir, can you not say this to your oldest friend from your mouth, not ours? You said he's your oldest friend. Why can't you just level with him and be like, bruh, you right. You right. You know what? You right. He will not give Magneto any ground. Now, am I down with turning off the planet? No, maybe not completely, but to go up against Magneto, like you just said this to President Kelly. Like, why can't you say it to your boy? Why can't you be like, bruh, yeah, you right. You right. You've been telling me for the longest time, you right. They said segregation. We went and segregated. We went and built our own town. Then they flooded it. So you're right. It's like he won't give Magneto the validation. He always got Magneto out there looking like he crazy. He not. Now, in my case, would I leave the planet off? No. I would turn the planet back on, but I would do like this. I would do like a worldwide communication or whatever, or like kind of like they did in Man of Steel. I'd have been like, look, my name's Magneto. Y'all know who I is, so I ain't gonna waste no time. I'm gonna turn this planet back on. If mutants want to come up with me, fine. But I'm gonna tell you this, I ain't coming back to help nobody because I'm done. I done did all I could do. I'm done. I'm gonna turn it on, and when they start killing y'all again, don't call my name. Don't beat me. Don't text me. Don't email me. Don't aim chat. Don't get on the forums. Don't send me a pigeon. Nothing. Cause I tried. I tried with y'all. Y'all ain't want to listen. Y'all call me crazy. Y'all call me a lunatic and a terrorist. So fine. I'ma go on up there, and when y'all be dead, don't come crying to me. But I digress.
You feel better?
I feel a lot better.
Because I know you've been trying to get that out for weeks. Weeks.
I was like, when he come back, if he talks some soft stuff, I'm not gonna be happy.
What did you expect from Professor Charles Xavier? You really thought they were gonna do the Cocoa thing? Angry. You know, you really thought they were gonna do Cocoa their first season back?
All right, maybe not, but I mean, at least to be just a little bit angry. He's just like, well, I mean, why don't we just figure out what we can do and turn the planet back on? I'm like, oh, well, see, Lord.
That's the tough. Like, I give Charles a little bit of leeway. Okay, not a lot. Excuse me. Okay, not yeah. See, I'm allergic to giving him a little bit of leeway. All right, because see, you're right with the way that the whole thing was handled. But keep in mind, pardon me.
Bless you.
Keep in mind that they had an hour before the end of the world.
Because well, no, they got a little more time. I think Storm said something like 12 hours. They got 12 hours till the world dies.
Yeah, 12 hours. And oh, excuse me, man.
See, Professor X, see what it'll do.
Yeah, I got Professor X trying to go solar. No, I don't need justification for my motives. No. So they had 12 hours to save the world from what Magneto did. Because if they hadn't gone to him, then literally the world would have been damaged irrevocably, and all life on Earth done. And Magneto's whole plan, he rebuilt Asteroid M, pretty much made the Earth uninhabitable, and he was going to wait until it emptied, and then he was going to go back and turn the lights back on. And yeah, so with that, I can't quite gel with that. Now, when Storm came back and Professor X came back, and it was like, oh, this is what's going on down here. I think honestly, the most poignant line with this situation was said by Jean. It really was. Just, we only got an hour, so make this quick. You know what I mean? Yeah. Seriously. So with that, Professor X coming back and playing the soft hand, which he's always done. Did I expect anything different? No. Did I like the results? Dramatic pause. Yes, I did like the dramatic results, actually. I really did. I like that Professor Xavier came down saying, we have to show reason. And Magneto finally said those two words. Those two words that you've been saying for weeks. Those two words that a lot of my cynical friends have been saying in regards to Charles Xavier for years now. You can say them if you want to.
No, you say it. I'm gonna let you say it. Because I just can't.
Because y'all know, if y'all been watching this whole thing, by the way, thank you, like, and subscribe. And y'all know that I pretty much call this the Magneto show at this point, because he's got all the best lines except for this last episode, which he was only outshined by Jean by 1%. With the, I'm finally going to say something to you that I have been wanting to say for years, Charles. Shut up.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. When the dude comes in, be like, look, I know I was on my space vacation with my bird wife, but we can't work this way. And it's like, bro,
but you weren't here.
We have seen
have a kid that I promised that he'd be fine. I promised him he'd be safe. And like he said, imagine, it's kind of like the last Equalizer movie. He was like, Denzel was like, I finally got some peace, and y'all came in here and took it from me. So now y'all got to die. Like, oh, and like, I ain't gonna front. Equalizer 3, that dude is basically like, he's like Michael Myers in that. But anyway, but
we're gonna stay on task on that. Like, shout out to Denzel. Thank you for listening to the podcast.
but he's like, yo, Xavier, you should have saw it. It was great. It was beautiful. We were just chilling. It was awesome.
He's like, and then your dream came true. You know, he's like, that was the part that was poignant. It's like, we achieved your dream, and they took it.
Yeah, so he's like, I saw a boy's eyes vaporized inside his skull. Imagine Morlocks happy, hanging out above ground, living life beautifully. And then that happens. Bruh, anyone that was there, like Cooper, when she saw the numbers on his arm, she's like, wow.
Yeah.
So he's seen this twice.
Well,
yeah,
more than
I can't
twice,
really.
because keep in mind it's the 90s and there were a lot
Oh yeah, I
of
forgot.
G words between 1945
Yeah,
and 1997.
yeah. So it.
I mean, ask Cap and Wolverine.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it would have been nice to see Professor X at least level with him and be like, bruh, I see where you coming from. It's like he never, it's like
Yeah,
Magneto just making
Charles
stuff
had
up.
to give some ground. He really had to give, and not in the "I understand that you're hurting, but" kind of way. It's like, yeah, no. I understand that you're hurting. End of sentence. End of sentence. Let him sit with the, you understand for a minute, and follow with "and." you know. But there's an old saying: whatever comes before the word "but" in a paragraph does not count.
Yeah, it's weird. Technically, the word but can also use to conjoin two things. But
Yes.
in most cases, people use but to disregard everything before it.
Yeah. Kind of gives interesting concept or context to their "but for the grace go I."
Because
Um
you can say, hey, I love this, man, but I love this too. Like I love, I don't know, I love cake, but I also love ice cream. So this not removing the cake, but
I
but
do my
most
best
people
to use "and"
yeah. But
because
the
I
thing
love
is,
cake and
I love
I
ice
love
cream.
cookies as well. um but that aside, um the thing I actually appreciated with this episode was it did not shy away from Charles having dropped the ball
Nah,
and
not at
him
all.
actually owning it. He was like, I messed up. His conversation with Cyclops really hit deep, you know, with that, why? Why did you hand it to him? And it wasn't because I believed in his heart. It's like, nah, because I knew that if I didn't give it to somebody, you'd take it because you are stuck not being able to let go. And I wanted a better life for you and Jean. Specifically, you two. You two have been here since day one. Hank ain't going nowhere. And we don't talk about Bobby. And Warren's rich. He's doing his thing. But you two.
Yeah, because all right, I'm trying to since I've rewatched the whole first series, Bobby is just out there. He don't want to be back with us no more, but he's just out there. It would have been cool to see him come back after something like this, but he's just out there. Warren is I think
Hey, gotta save
the
something for
last
season 2.
episode we see is Obsession, but maybe I'm wrong. Because I did just rewatch the whole series again. The last episode we see Warren, he's like, I'll never stop looking for a way to kill Apocalypse, and like he's super he's super angry about that, and he's not letting that go, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is understandable. But that's the last time I think we see him in the original series. So, I mean, they're out there, and it, unfortunately, Professor X, I mean, he did own it, but it was weird to see him give Magneto ground to President Kelly, but not to the man himself.
Well,
And he's supposed to be your boy.
Well, by the time he went to the man himself, they only had an hour left to save life on Earth. So Charles did not handle it properly, but where he messed up, I understand. Charles got caught up in the moment, and that conversation of, I understand, I see where you're coming from, is a conversation that has a bunch of tears, some sort of beverage, be it coffee or brown liquor. And since this is Charles and Eric, we're talking about probably a little kissing, and they didn't have time for all that. And again, I hate to say it, and I'm also still loving the fact that Magneto has like all of his lines are epic.
Yeah, like he doesn't. He is not slipping on them lines. But I know, y'all. We ain't going to just talk about Professor X the whole time because we have the Return of Storm. We have
Bruh.
like Storm
Bruh.
comes back. She's with her new man. You know what I'm saying? She with her new man. So she came back. She got the new suit on. She with her new man and her linking back up with Jean and everything, and kind of saying, hi to everyone. It was good to see the family getting back together.
Yeah.
Uh, even kind of like the banter between, like, say, Morph line or like Wolverine's line or something like that. It was nice to have that. Just to see them be a team or a family again, kind of thing.
I'm definitely there. But okay. So again, this episode full of just amazing, amazing dialogue. Um One splitting into blue and gold teams. I'm like, all right, cool. We
Yep.
getting back to our roots with X-Men and Uncanny X-Men. Let's do this. Um, however, um, the conversation between Jean and Aurora, not Marvel Girl and Storm, Jean and Aurora.
Yeah.
Just I thought about you a lot when I was gone because, you lose it all, you keep coming back. I had to take some inspiration from this. And yeah, not gonna lie, that whole, yep, well, we're about to do this thing and make them mind your storm. And it's like, yeah, make them, what was it?
It was make them mind your weather and make them weather your
Yes.
mind.
Yeah. I thought that was an amazing line. It would have
Yeah.
been, and yes, I did think it was amazing. Understand, guys, I've been up for like 16 hours already, and my mind is not exactly great. But yeah, mind your weather and weather your mind. I'm like,
This
that
this
is,
series does a good job of showing how close they are.
yeah.
Even more so than the original series did.
Speaking of which, that you check out Rogue's fit accessories.
Yeah. See, I noticed Rogue is in her old outfit,
Mhm.
and she was wearing Gambit's jacket.
Yeah, I'm
And
like,
she
oh,
that was also a big moment when she left that jacket on Charles's shoulder.
yeah.
I think that was a big moment where, and maybe that's why his tune kind of changed when he talked to Kelly after that, because maybe he was just like, yeah, Rogue was right. I wasn't here. Yes, I felt the sight, but I wasn't there. Like, I wasn't there when it went to crap. Rogue was like, none of you were there. The only people,
I was actually a
Nightcrawler was
little upset
there.
at that
I think
because
that's it.
Nightcrawler was there.
Yeah, Nightcrawler was there.
And I'm
So,
like, why are you being so mean to your brother right now?
and I guess I guess he just said that out of hate and really wasn't thinking. But I was like, no, Nightcrawler was there. He actually saved. Well, we don't know. He saved them at the time. I don't know if they were saved later because there were so many Sentinels and so much, carnage going on. Who knows? But in this episode, we get a great look at a family that isn't super vibing right now, and they're all hurting in different ways. And you know, the two favorite uncles is now making people's shoes.
Yeah, I mean, that was such the moment of Morph kind of looking at Professor Xavier and Magneto going, Mom, Dad, if I say it was my fault, would you stop fighting? You know?
I man, I that I loved. Also, the moment, of course, the Fatal Attractions moment.
Oh,
Might as well go in and
before we
call
get
that
to
out.
before we get to that, I want to give a massive shout out to Rogue actually being meta. Where it's like Storm hit up with, I don't believe you would give up on family. And she's like, look, Jean, what's going to happen next? Jean dies and comes back to life? Oh, wait. And Morph was barely on the team for 30 minutes. I'm like, oh, they went all the way there.
Well, I mean, if you want to be real, I mean, Morph got captured. Got shot, and I guess Sinister took him.
Yeah,
So
in episode 2,
yeah,
at the let's see, 20 at the 6-minute mark, which means in the original show, Morph was taken out 29 minutes into the original X-Men show.
wow.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and I'm
he was
just like,
taken.
all right.
So I mean, she's not wrong. Running back the history real quick, like, hey, hold up. First thing, what is Jean going to just die again? We gonna do that? Like, and I mean, I think either her or Magneto was like, how many people? How many? No, he said something like, how many bones have to? I'm trying to remember exactly how he said it, but he said something like, how many bones have to like be laid before your like your dream is realized or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
And honestly, that's a fair question because every dream, like every change and new era in history, has. I'm trying to figure out a clean way to say this.
Yeah.
An
How
immense
many more
amount.
of your bones? He said, how many more of your bones? He floated to the team, looking at them because they're his X-Men.
Uh-huh.
Remember, he even said to me, my X-Men, or he said something like with me, my X-Men, or something like that. But how many more of your bones will pave the way to Xavier's future? And you gotta, you look,
Yeah.
you gotta answer that, Xavier. How many are you willing to lose? Or is it infinite? And if it's infinite, say that so they can make a wise and informed
choice.
decision.
Yeah. And see, one of the things I gotta give to this show, I gotta give it to this show, and this is why I'm loving it so hard, is that you remember when we first started doing this, and I'm like, this show knows who it's written for?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because they're like, yeah, y'all ain't kids no mo. So it's gonna be hard to pick a side, but you're gonna have to pick a side because we're not saying either one of them's right. We're saying they're both right, and they're both wrong.
I think
So
I think
whose
it's a
side you on?
situation where I think Professor X is great when we're at least a semi peacetime where we can actually have negotiations and talks and meetings and sit downs and things of that nature.
Are you
But I
saying
think
Charles Xavier is not a wartime conciliary? Is that it?
I think when people start sending some bullets over here, Magneto need to be in charge because it's not. Look, Charles, they're not trying to sit down no more. They don't want it. They don't want to have tea. They don't want to chat. They have shown us that. So now you need to take a back seat for a moment. Now, when we get it to the point where they're willing to sit down again, cool. You can come up and I'll take a back seat. But for right now, I don't know. I think Professor X is more for when they're actually willing to sit down and talk to us and have a meeting and things of that nature.
See, the part that I'm stuck on is this. The conversation comes down to time frame. That's really what we're stuck. Because it's really dangerous painting all of humanity with the same brush that Magneto is. Now, I'm not gonna say hashtag not all humans because that's followed up with hashtag not all but too many. And I'm a big believer in that. But when I talk about time frame, the big ideological debate between Magneto and Charles comes down to now or never. Charles is trying to play the long game, and Magneto is essentially saying, that's nice, but I don't see us making it to the long game.
And
You know?
like he tells President Kelly, he has enough. There's enough evidence to prove Magneto can't risk waiting. And that's because of y'all. Like, Magneto did not make y'all do this. Like, I mean, of course, you'll probably come up and say, oh, well, I mean, hey, he attacked us. And it's like, well, he did attack you. What happened before that? Oh, you killed like 10 or 12 mutants in here, or you set up the Sentinel program to kill mutants there, or you enslaved people in Genosha. So this idea
Even
that,
when we saved you from the Sentinels,
yeah,
you
true.
keep trying with the Sentinels.
Mhm.
You know,
And so I see that whole like now or never thing going on, and it's kind of one of those things where the man Charles needs to at least say to Magneto, okay, you're right. I don't think we should turn off the planet though. At least say that. But that's not how you're treating it. You're treating it like Magneto just wilding. And now, I don't think you should turn off the planet, but I'm similar to kind of like what I said before. Okay, look, I'm gonna turn on the planet, but I'm gonna leave. When I leave, I'm gone. I'm done. I'm finished. I've done all I can.
see, I don't think he should have turned off the planet. I saw that as a very big emotional thing.
Well, I mean, how else would you stop all those Sentinels at once? I mean, because think about it. We're looking at the mutants that could fight back, and they was getting roasted. Like, imagine the average mutant that's like a mutant, but say their power is to like read books really fast. You know what I'm saying? Like those guys were.
Let me finish. All right, let me finish. All right. Him turning off the planet to stop the Sentinels, cool. All right. However, I realized that he had just been getting tortured. His mind wasn't right and all that stuff. However, I will say Magneto is old and wise enough to know that he should have called somebody. At least give Cyclops a heads up. Cyclops, I'm turning off the planet. Just something, because the direct consequences of him doing what had to be done was the first thing that we got shown with Jubilee and Sunspot. Because, yeah, he turned off the planet, but that also meant planes crashed. ICUs went down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of people died while he was saving a bunch of folks. And it's like, he made the choice of who lives and who dies, and he kept his own council over. You feel that?
Oh, I get you on that.
I mean, I understand the standpoint of the mutant who is working at a Jack in the Box in New York, whose mutant ability is he has 3 faces that look like pigs. I get that. But there's also children and children on life support in the natal care unit that died.
Oh no, I get you, and that's why I said that's wrong. But I don't know what else to do. 100%. I don't know what else to do, because they've decided that, or the UN, the OZT, organization, they've decided that all mutants can be killed.
Yeah.
And so all Magneto really did was put the ball back in their backyard. Because see, there was a whole bunch of humans just chilling, kicking it, well, nothing wrong. Everything was all right.
You know what you sound like,
and
right
now all of a sudden we gotta cry because now the ball is in your backyard. Oh, when it wasn't in your backyard, we were sensitive.
See,
now the ball is in your backyard
right now, bro.
Oh, because now y'all can't afford to live in New York City. Now all of a sudden we got to put it on CNN. When other people couldn't live in New York City, they wasn't picking up the bootstraps.
I'm not saying
it's a housing crisis because your daddy can't afford to buy you a house no more straight out of college. Look, now it's a housing crisis.
See, are we still talking about X-Men? I'm just checking, because you know who you're sounding like. You're like, yeah, it's Magneto just took their little plan and turned it on itself. Are you gonna ask if I want to know how you got your scars?
Oh boy. Okay. But I that's why I'm like, I don't know what else to do. These
And
Sentinels are going
yeah,
crazy. People
and
dying all over the place. The
and you
only
know
thing I know
what?
how to do is to turn these things off right now.
And you know what? This is a testament to amazing writing. Because one of the biggest criticisms I see online all the time are Monday morning quarterbacks going, well, why didn't he just, I mean, I do it myself. People with the Thanos was right thing. I'm like, no, he was evil and he was crazy because he could have, made infinite resources
Yeah,
and used the Mind
he
Stone
could
to
have just
fix stuff.
made enough
Yeah.
for everybody. Like
And then
I was
made
like,
everybody
don't the
want to
rings work the
share.
other way too? Couldn't he have
Yeah.
just made it like abundant?
Yeah, exactly. And then made everyone want to share and be willing to do that. The
Yeah,
Mind Stone has that power. Nope, nope,
like
nope. He was committed to killing. So
seems like
yeah,
a slam
Thanos
dunk.
was wrong, you know. And I had that solution in the theater. I'm like, what do you dude, just increase the amount of stuff and
Yeah,
change how
I was
people
like, do
distribute it.
half the people have to die though? Because then technically, I mean, okay, let's say you do this, because even I was in the theater, like, if you do this, that could work for a time, but then wouldn't you have to do this again, say, I don't know, 200 years later or something like that?
Yeah,
This
exactly.
isn't
So
this
yeah.
isn't the
And
best solve
again,
for this problem.
and see that was not great writing, but they had to do something other than Thanos' original motive. Read the book, y'all.
Yeah, him being
Um,
in love with death. I mean,
yeah,
it's look, comics is crazy, comics is convoluted. So I mean, you could get wild with the personification of death, but I don't think Kevin Feige really wanted to go that wild, that early with some live action stuff. So,
exactly. But
they had to
with
flip it up a
this,
little bit.
yeah, but with X-Men 97, we can't come up with a solution. This whole thing is complicated. And they are not shying away from this whole thing is complicated. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I tell my middle class white friends, especially when it comes to um rural culture and hood culture,
Hmm.
is be grateful for what you have, because you might feel that you're poor, you might think that you're broke, but your life is not built on making the best bad decision. When there's always a good option in your world, but there's a lot of people who don't have good options, and they take the best option of all the crappy ones that are there. That's why the old heads are like, hey man, you was doing the best you could with what you had. What you had wasn't much. And that's where Magneto and Charles Xavier was in this episode. He made what he figured to be the best bad decision given what was on the line and what was going on.
Yeah, because
And we
he
can't
didn't
think of
really
a better
have.
one.
I mean, okay, even if you wanted to say, well, he could have exposed Bastion, how long would that have taken? Remember,
Yeah.
these Sentinels are killing people now, like
Yeah.
right this second.
How many more would have to die?
So they're killing mutants like by the minute, because all of these sleeper agents and Prime Sentinels are just like activating and just killing mutants all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So the time it would take to expose Bastion, people don't even know who Bastion is. Then exposing Bastion would mean exposing the OZT. You know good and well the whole OZT thing, they probably be like, nah, this isn't, I don't even know what he's talking about. This is crazy
that's
Magneto.
total
So like, yeah, that's crazy Magneto talk. So you could, I mean, maybe you could try finding and getting to Bastion, but would killing him stop everything else? Like who knows? So
again, at 100%, 100%, this writing is on point.
Yeah,
I mean, just there are no good answers, which is good because that makes for decent storytelling that leads to good discussions.
Yep. And see, that's why y'all come here.
Exactly. Because again, I understand, I empathize 100% with Magneto, and I don't know if what he did was the right thing, because he was stuck in a situation of he had to choose who died. in the moment.
Yeah.
And
Because we have governments conspiring against mutants still.
yeah,
Like that whole UN thing, still governments are still in that conversation with Professor X that he didn't bring up. Professor X was never like he was never like, so when were you going to tell us about OZT? Like, like just things like that. Like, when were you going to tell us this? And I hate to say it, Professor X, but maybe you need to do a periodic just mind read of like the world's leaders. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's just what you need to do.
if not him, Gene.
Yeah, like
because you know who
we can't
would
trust y'all for nothing.
Yeah, but you know who would? Emma.
You know what? Emma would.
Matter of fact, I'm betting she does. Because
wow.
She's the telepath that don't play.
So yeah, you know what? But she could, because if we're not, y'all can't continue to put government resources into stuff like this and then be mad when we respond. You did a worldwide attack, but the worldwide attack is only acknowledged when we do it. Like, come on, man.
The psychological condition of that is called reactive abuse.
Never heard that term before. Thank you for that.
Yeah, it's when the in crowd pushes the out crowd, or the in group pushes the out group to react, and then plays victim when the outlier does react.
Oh boy! I know
we've seen it. We've seen it 100 times in 100 places.
We've seen that playbook over and over again.
You know,
that playbook has been done to death. Like,
because it works.
Yeah,
but it can only be done with the out group.
The in crowd is larger, so the in crowd is either larger, or the in crowd has the luxury of platform and a lot of people that want to be in.
Well, that's what makes them the in group.
Yeah, so they have the platform, either power or money, or they have prestige that is able to be protected through at least use of or threat of force.
Yeah,
you guys know where I'm talking about. You know where I'm going, but I ain't gonna say it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to NWA today. I'm not going to NWA today. I'm not going to do that today. But so I'll move on from that. I'll leave that one alone. I want to let's you know what? Let's talk about the action.
Oh, bruh. Bruh.
Everybody got some love in this. Everybody got some love. I don't know if I like how the teams were split.
We didn't give enough love to the heel turn, because I wanted to bring up Sunspot.
Oh yeah, well I was gonna cover that in the action.
Okay, yeah, because if anybody had reason, to join Magneto, it was him. And Rogue's speech was dramatic, and it was eloquent, and I felt every syllable of it. But when he's like, yo, my mama threw me in a concentration camp. And I wasn't really rolling with you guys anyway.
And the funny thing is, the second I started to be down with y'all, Genosha gets attacked.
Mm-hmm.
I go to my mom. We're getting chased down by these robot killers. She turns me over to them. So I finally get ready to be like, all right, I want to fight. And your old leader comes back talking about he want to chill.
Girl, nah.
Especially when he has the powers he has. And she hasn't even fully realized them yet. Because, I mean, honestly, Sunspot, at least comic Sunspot, could essentially just melt down Sentinels, couldn't he?
Well,
at least the comic book one could probably melt them down.
Yeah, the ones that are made out of plastic. because they made a lot of them out of plastic, specifically so Magneto couldn't take them.
Yeah. Like he
You
can
know.
probably. I mean, he can get very hot. So the power he has, yeah. Man, look. Remember that the thing that was going around on Twitter, like on December 21st, black people gonna get powers. I was like, bro, look, they don't do that. Y'all just don't do that, man. Just don't do that. Y'all don't want that.
Yeah,
Like, nah, man, it's not gonna be good. Because
y'all
even the people
haven't
that are
read the
relatively
X-Men,
cool
have you?
like me, even the people that are relatively cool like me, be like, yeah, I'm not super mad though, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not super mad about it. Like,
Nah, I'll tell you quite honestly, I have weighed 90% of the powers I can find in all of comic books, and I'm a global threat with all of them. So if that happened, if that thing happened and everybody got superpowers and stuff, I would have to do one thing, and that is leave the United States. Now, where would I go? That is to be not disclosed. I would be elsewhere
yeah,
because I'm already dangerous with that. You know, and I really, again, and doing this podcast with you, I'm like, all right, so who are the dangerous X-Men? Okay, who aren't the dangerous X-Men? So far, Jubilee.
and the funny thing is, Jubilee could be way more dangerous than she's shown in the cartoon.
You know, but yeah, outside of that, I'm like, yeah, because, you know, there's quite a few X-Men that I am woefully afraid of with their powers.
Yeah.
Like yeah, these they have to be stopped or appeased. You know, specifically Jean. You know, Jean is horrifying. Morph is horrifying,
Yeah.
and
'Cause
Mystique
you
is
talking
way
about-
too good.
Honestly, Morph wouldn't even be on the team. Morph would be deep cover in all of these little governments that every time we turn around, they trying to do some mutant stuff. That would be his job. Be like, look, your job is just infiltration 24/7.
So here's the thing with that. That's normally Mystique.
But we don't have her on our team. She ain't down with us.
So I'm actually wondering where she is.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I honestly thought she was the UN chick.
Oh, you know what? That would have been a good look, but since she wasn't, I don't know where she is.
Yeah. Because
Last
they
time I
didn't show
saw
her on
her-
Genosha.
Last time I saw Mystique, it was in the original series in that episode where Nightcrawler found out that she was his mom, and he tried to be like, hey, come, let's be a family. She was like, no, I've been too bad, I've done too much, and she kind of like runs off. He like saves her, and she runs off because Gyrick, I think, tried to like kidnap him or something like that. But yeah, the last thing that happened, she just ran off somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry. Now to the action of it all.
Yeah, the act.
Oh.
Oh man. Now they didn't have the high kinetic action in this one that they had in the last episode. You know, the
Nah.
action in this one was more visceral than it was fast paced.
Yeah.
You know, because I was feeling pretty much everything. You know, when they get to Asteroid M and they see Magneto kicking it on his lounge chair, I'm like, yep, all Magneto needs now is a big piece of chicken, because that is the good chair. All right, that right there is the good chair.
Definitely.
And that particular action scene, like, I really appreciated the fight between Mystique and Sunspot. Sorry, I've been on this Mystique kick. I really appreciated the fight between Jubilee and Sunspot. Um, what I will say is that I'm torn on the fight between Gene and Cable.
I honestly, I gotta give Sinister respect to how quickly he was able to turn Cable. But see, we don't know what he did to Cable when he was a baby. We have no idea.
That's exactly the thing. Well, essentially, it comes down to if you spend time with Sinister, you're getting a thing in your head. That is what he does. But this is the best animation that they've done on Mr. Sinister because they finally have a budget. I'm like, all right, Sinister, I see you. All right, all right, Nate. You know,
he was a problem like he always is. But shouts to Gene for knocking him through the pins and then throwing bowling balls at him. Now, I know it doesn't seem like much, but for anyone who may have dropped a bowling ball on their foot or something like that, look, imagine that coming at you at the speed of a bullet. Man, look, Gene, y'all really don't know how dope Gene can be.
Yeah, a bowling ball is half the weight of a cannonball. And the thing is, that's still light work for Gene.
Yeah, that's nothing for Gene.
What X-Men 3 did properly on screen but didn't explain is you know how she was killing people by just dematerializing them?
Oh yeah, I forgot she was dusting the people.
Yeah, she can do that. She can just do that. That's telekinetics used to pull molecules apart.
Yeah, she could.
She don't need much juice, you know. And
that's why I was like, when she was fighting Sinister, I was like, she started going hard. I was like, yeah, he's done. And then when I was like, oh, okay, they need him for later. Cause I was like, did she really get mad? Like Sinister in a fight? Now, Sinister when it comes to like plans and plots and schemes, yes, but in a fight, nah, not the way I would write Gene. Like it would have to be like the situation where him and his team got beat in Savage Land and he had to kind of like melt away and go somewhere. Like that's how it would have ended. Cause I could easily see her like him jumping towards her stopping him in midair and be like, Madeline, Nate, Scott, I'm tired of this. We're done. And just boom, he's separated.
Dude, like, exactly.
I mean, boom, leg over there, arm over there, ear over there.
I thought about this when it came to the superpowers, specifically the superpowers of the X-Men, and Jean is terrifying. Any telekinetic with a high school science education is I'm gonna say this, and oh my god, get ready to go viral because I'm gonna get smoke. But and yeah, I'll put all smoke in the comment. All right, I will say it now. A telepath on Jean and Cable's level can easily take a Viltrumite. Jean versus Omni-Man, my money's on Jean every day of the week, twice on Sundays.
Yeah. As the only edge I would give is if they catch her off guard, but if she knows like it's a fight, like if she can see you, it's kind of over.
Unless
you catch her slipping.
If she can conceptualize, then gone.
Yeah, I don't see Omni-Man being a real problem because he would have to catch her slipping. He would have to get his hands on her because if she knows he's coming or she like feels his murderous intent in his mind or something like that, I don't see it lasting too long for Omni-Man.
Yeah.
But I'm really not a telekinetic on her level. Or, shoot. I mean, she doesn't even need that. Once she feels his mind, I mean, she could essentially make him a vegetable.
Yeah.
I mean,
the telepathy, that's a whole different thing. And I mean that, a whole different thing.
Like she could just put him in a vegetative state and that's it.
She could Black Mercy him. And honestly, so could Charles.
You shoot, even within the Invincible world, when I was watching the show, when I was watching the first season, I was like, hey, I was like, shouldn't shouldn't Eve go after him? I was like, okay, if she could create matter, couldn't she just give him a heart attack? Like, couldn't she just give him a brain aneurysm?
She can't control living tissue.
But can she create like an air bubble inside his, or maybe not? I don't know. Maybe I'm going too specific with her power.
Yeah, she's got to be.
But it seems like she can do just about whatever she wants.
Yeah, she's got to see where it goes. But you're going straight Sue Storm on this now. But yeah,
I'm like, can't she just give him a heart attack and like that's it? Like game's over. But then, of course, if you have powers, if you have people use their powers like that, then it's like the show is like 3 episodes long.
Exactly.
I said this in a stream one time. I was like, the writers have to conveniently forget their hero's powers so that the story can happen.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of times when I'm like, hold up, can't Superman just like can't so and so just ...
Well, see, Superman's different. Yeah, Superman is absolutely different because part of his whole thing is he never forgets his powers. Superman and the Flash both, they never forget their powers, and Spider-Man because they're afraid of what they might do.
Yeah.
So they're the kings of pulling their punches because if the Flash stops concentrating for a hot minute, like his level of speed would literally cause nuclear explosions as he travels.
Yeah, he could mess around, end up in the past, and be like, "Oh man, I'm about to mess something up."
I'm just talking straight up, like moving. Just
because I mean,
running.
the impact wave of the impact wave of his steps or the wind as he runs has got to be crazy.
I'm talking the molecular friction that's left behind in his wake.
Good point.
The speed force protects him from burning up, but it doesn't stop those molecules from hitting each other.
Yeah, good point.
But yeah. But again, these are comics and cartoons, so we don't go that deep.
Yeah, we don't.
This is one of the reasons that I don't really get into, say, The Boys or Invincible, because they try and go that deep, and all that happens is blood splatter everywhere, all the time, and it gets old really quick.
There's a part like at the end of this when we get the kind of fatal attractions piece between Wolverine and Magneto.
Now, what was your thought?
The look on his face was like, bruh, I didn't want to do this to you. He was like, I tried not to do. You talk the most, and I tried it because, bruh, like you're
all the X-Men, you are the worst. You are the worst one to send against me.
Yeah, it's like I can't remember. There's an old comic. Somebody put in the comments if you can remember. It's an old comic book where the Avengers are going up against Magneto for some reason. And Cap throws his shield and he was like, I'm the master of magnetism. And you come at me with a discus? I mean, it's like we all love Wolverine. We all love his quips. We all love his attitude. That's great. But it seemed like Magneto was like, man, I ain't want to have to do this to you. But look, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm tired of this.
And as much as I hate being cynical, even Bryan Singer brought that up. In the first X-Men movie with the, is your body filled with that magnificent metal? Like, really?
And I mean, I can essentially just throw you into all of your teammates, and as heavy as you are, if I throw you hard enough, you could probably knock them all out like a pinball machine, and I could just go on about my business.
Bro.
But I try to be cool, but now you stab me.
Now, bro, Magneto can use Wolverine as a knife if he wants to.
Yeah.
Always could. Be like, no, what are you doing trying to retract those things? No, get him out. All right, so now stab Storm. Now stab Scott. Now stab Jean. Mm-hmm. Slowly. No. Look her in the eye. Look her in the eye. Because remember, it's his whole skeleton.
Yeah, so it's like he was like, I'm tired of this, and he pulled it. So I wonder how they're gonna follow this up, because I don't know where we go in the third one. I guess you know what, we're at time, so I'll do this. I'll throw it to maybe final thoughts and predictions for the finale, and then let people know where they can find you.
Okay, so final thoughts. This episode achieved something that a lot of shows, especially comic shows, rarely do. And that is live up to the hype that was promised.
Yeah.
All right. They said, "Oh, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till the 3-part finale." Remember when I said that? Remember when I said that? Well, wait till the finale. Yeah, and this is only part 2. This is only part 2. And I'm like, all right, cool. Predictions. I see 3 or 4 places that this can go. But the only thing that I will say in regards to that is a bittersweet ending. I see this being a very bittersweet ending, leading to season 2, where we're gonna have to deal with the fallout of this, and hopefully we either as the series or as the season 2 antagonist goes, well, I'm hoping and I'm predicting that we're either going to get Apocalypse or, heaven forbid, Onslaught.
Ooh, yeah.
And I see that happening with this team because they were building up that moment hard.
Yeah.
You know, and when Magneto shoved his helmet on Charles, I'm like, okay, they're not doing it in this episode, but they're letting us know.
Yeah,
they're letting us know that it's on the table.
Yeah, I think they were working hard to at least swerve us that way.
Yeah. So yeah, what I definitely see is it is going to end big, but it's also going to end bittersweet. Like very much we saved the day. Yeah, I guess. So happy ending? Well, let's just take an ending. That's where I see that. And you guys can find me at twitch.tv/bid_p or at bidpblurred on YouTube. It'll say Solar Gray when you look it up. So go on over there, hit me a little bit of subscribe there. And yeah, come on over. We talk about so many things on the channel. And if you're a nerd and you're a nerd of color or a woman or LGBTQ, like we got seats at the table for everybody. Just come on down. Let us know your nerd experiences and come make some new friends. That's what I got to say on that.
That's what's up. Let's see. For me, I love this show way more than I thought I would love it. When I saw that first trailer, I wasn't fully sold, but this is going extremely hard in the best ways. I'll say this: I don't know the whole back and forth of the thing with I think his last name is DeMaio, the showrunner.
Oh yeah.
But as long as he did not kill someone or maim someone or set someone on fire, whatever, get him back. Unless he did something that's like crazy, egregious, and illegal, get him back. I don't know. Look, the man knows what he's doing. All right. He knows. And the thing that worries me is that y'all gonna try to replace him, and that second season gonna be whack. Bring that man back. Just bring him back. I don't know what he did. Unless it's something like illegal, but I don't think it is, because we haven't seen, like, because I was assuming, I was like, oh, it's probably something he did, something illegal, like he's gonna be in jail. Nothing. So I have no idea.
That. I respect that we don't know why he's gone, but I also say, Louis C.K. got another Netflix special, so bring the boy back.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. It's like, look, y'all, don't even get me started on the colors that are able to get redemption.
So
When you're a certain shade, redemption's on the way. When you're not, you had one chance. But that was already covered in the episode of Atlanta a long time ago. But
yeah,
he was like, look, we get one chance. But with that said, love all y'all. Thank y'all for rolling through. NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz. And until the next time that you have to decide to stick with Professor X or go on Asteroid M, this is us to you just saying peace.
and make them weather your mind.